Hey, my air signs. So if you are of Gemini or Libra, this is your full moon and Aquarius reading. So my air signs, this is, like I said, going to be a full moon reading for you guys pertaining to your fellow air sign, Aquarius. There's a moon in your fellow air sign, Aquarius. And so let's dive right into it in terms of, first of all, what is the overall theme behind this full moon in Aquarius? What is the highlight? The highlight is showing the world the real you. That means showing up as your authentic version of yourself. And I'm going to say right now, I'm a little disappointed because I'm still kind of getting the energy that some of you are struggling. You are struggling to see yourself in a higher light, to see yourself improving, to see yourself in honoring and respecting what it is your inner voice, your intuition is telling you. Sometimes we can see something for what it is, but there's a blockage. It's almost like we turn a deaf ear toward it. And I'm kind of still seeing that for you guys, my air signs. But when it comes to you, Libra, Gemini, and this doesn't matter what your placements, whether it's Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have other placements with Libra or Gemini, this is your reading. Just know, though, that I am reading this for the collective of you Libras and Geminis, and so that means that the messages may not always resonate, or the whole reading may not resonate, but there's going to be something, just one little aspect of the message here I feel is going to resonate with someone out there. The reason I said I was disappointed is because what I'm seeing is, when I was preparing your cards, the phrase that came out is, resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. And you guys, for those that are Trekkie fans or watch Star Trek, I forget which one, where 7 of 9 is in, the Borg. And that is something that she tends to say every now and then throughout her scenes, is resistance is futile. And when you think about the word itself, futile, it is the efforts, it is the hope that you put behind something that really turns out to be useless, or your efforts turns out to be futile, where it is almost like saying, no matter how you try, no matter how much you might be giving someone or a situation the benefit of the doubt, and for you, particularly for you Libras, because I know you are ruled by, well, not really what you're ruled by, it's what it is that you are about. You symbolize balance in every aspect of your life. You give people the benefit of the doubt, right? And with that being said, sometimes in doing that, it might be giving yourself a disservice. All right, so that's just a side message for you Libras. Gemini, you are the twin. You're about communication. And so how I feel that you are not really being in your authentic self is, either you're holding back on communicating something, and you are struggling with a choice, because Lovers, which goes in with your sign, when I think about the Lovers, the major arcana of the Lovers, which is you, it is also about a choice. So for you Geminis, you are struggling with some sort of choice. And so luckily, this full moon is kind of going to amp up, helping us as a collective to really let go, to make a decision and let go of things that no longer serve us. And so for you collectively, though, air signs, I feel that you are struggling, you are resisting to change. You also are overlooking an unexpected change, because I feel for some of you, there was some type of change that has either recently occurred, or this could be coming up in the days to come surrounding this full moon, because the full moon, even though the full moon will fade away in the next day or so, but the energy of the messages, they are still active and very much significant up to 30 days and even beyond. So in other words, if you are not experiencing this change right now, it's going to come up. And by the way, we are dealing with a lot of astrological changes anyway. We are still under a Mercury retrograde along with this full moon. So there are so many planetary activities at play that is going to affect and influence how we show up in the world. And I just wanted to just say that when it comes to how you are looking at this time at air signs, I feel like I said there is a struggle. But I was going to say that I feel that for some of you, if this change has already occurred, which I feel a portion of you, there's been some type of major, unforeseen, unexpected change that happened towards you, and you are refusing to accept that change. All right? And you are holding on to it. Instead of seeing it for what it is, you are still holding on to something. It's like you feel that if you continue to be patient and persevere, stick it out. It's like, if I do that, it's going to help change. Now, it's nothing wrong, right, with expecting something, or if you are trying to see if something can be resolved and you're trying to work on something. But again, resistance is futile. Is there a situation that it's basically whatever efforts you are exuding, is it worthless? Is it just basically effortless at this time? Are you kind of running on a fuel tank that is almost like it's coming on empty, if that makes sense, right? It's like you have given so much in a certain situation or circumstance, but if it's involving someone else, well, if it's involving like a relationship, a partnership, where maybe now, there has been not seeing eye to eye, there's been, arguments and just a lot of chaos in your environment, are you allowing yourself to sacrifice your self-esteem, holding back from being your authentic self and basically your freedom, just because you are resistant to that change or even accepting an unexpected change? All right. So that is pretty much what I picked up on when I was, preparing your reading at this time. And so before we jump into your cards that have come out, that kind of is giving me and how I'm expressing myself towards you air signs, let's talk about exactly what this Aquarius full moon is really highlighting for all of us collectively. And so what it is that is doing, this full moon in your fellow air sign Aquarius, is asking you to unleash your inner rebel. We all have a rebellious side to us, right? There are situations and times that maybe we need to hold back from that, but then there's a time that we need to unleash it, to kind of bring it out, right? Are you ready, though, to unleash your authentic version of yourself? And that's the thing. I don't know if you guys are ready. I feel that you are, but you're holding yourself back. Have you felt the calling to drastically switch up the status quo, rebelling against structure or limitations in your life? If the answer is yes, the moon energy would amplify the rebel within to march to the beat of your own drum. It's time to crank up the energy from this moon, because when the moon is full, all aspects of our inner life are heightened. All right? And I feel that there might be a situation that you air signs might be in right now. Now, I could take it and stretch it out and say there could be a comfort zone, possibly, that you are surrounded by. This could be your own physical environment. It could be with the people that you are connected to. But is it allowing and putting restrictions and limitations on you showing up and being your true authentic self? That really is the overall question for you air signs, Libra and Gemini. All right. And when I spoke about other energies that is working in harmony with this full moon, we do have still, I mentioned Mercury retrograde. Okay, we still have these astrological energies that are at play here, and it will be here up until It goes direct on August 28th. Mercury is the messenger. It brings and delivers messages, whether from other people or messages even within ourselves. And before I move on to retrograde meaning, and this is what I'm saying, some of you might have been told something. You might have received a message pertaining to some type of change that you are resisting at this time. The message wasn't something you wanted to hear. Better yet, it was something that you didn't expect. All right, that's just for some of you. It's just for one of you. Retrograde, which tends to get a bad rap, is because of what it is that it can do. Yes, it can cause chaos. It can cause a breakdown. But in actuality, retrograde... Oh, sorry, that noise. I just heard something. In actuality, retrograde, that was probably like an example. You see how it was like unexpected and it kind of shocks you? I think about the major arcana of the Tower. It didn't come out in your reading, but I pick up the Tower energy where you didn't expect something to happen. Nonetheless, retrograde is about review. We review to revise in order to release while we are unleashing. And going back to your fellow air sign, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus or Uranus. Some pronounce it Uranus, Uranus. Now, when you look at the aspect of Aquarius, right, they're not a part of today. Today, they're not a part of your energy today because I gave them the exclusive reading. But when we're looking at the sign itself, Aquarius, right, it is an air sign, so y'all share the same element, but you don't necessarily per se share the aspect or the trait of Aquarius. Aquarius is not as emotional as other signs are. Aquarius analyze things. Not that you guys don't, but Aquarius, they leave emotions out so that they can reevaluate, revise, and review from a sense of analytics and logic. And I feel that this might be the time you kind of want to really take a note from Aquarius, your fellow air sign, and look at a situation without the emotions, because I feel that some of you is struggling to make that decision because you are allowing your emotions to get in the way. That, and also listening to other people, whether it's family, friends, and even though they might mean you well, and they have their best interests at heart, but sometimes when we have too many people to kind of come in and to give their advice and put in their little, 2 cents in, you have to really say to yourself, that still kind of does what? When you hear other people's advice to you and helping you to make a decision, sometimes it really don't help, because guess what? You are kind of still, for the most part, left with deciding, should I, go by what they say? But then it's like you're still struggling, as I see the 2 of Swords here, which is still struggling at crossroads. It's like, did they really help you decide what you should do? Because in reality, we should always, right, follow our own intuition, that own inner guidance, that inner voice, not the voice of other people. And that is what I kind of picked up on intuitively while I was preparing you guys' cards. All right. So that is where we're at right now. But in speaking about that energy of your fellow air sign, Aquarius, like I said, I feel that some of you are not thinking analytical or logical about something. You are kind of, showing emotions. And when we put emotions into it, and when it comes to making a decision, it's going to kind of block us from making the best decision possible for ourselves. All right, let's get into your cards. The overall energy that have come out for you guys today under this full moon, that is going to represent more or less in how you are showing up, or what you need to exude at this time to show up as your real self. What came out was the Five of Wands. Okay, Queen of Fire is the same as the Five of Wands. However, I feel that you are still dealing with inner conflict, because the Five of Wands doesn't have to always be external conflict from other people. This could also be inner conflict within ourselves. And this is where I see that some of you air signs, you Libras and Geminis, is struggling with at this time. There's a struggle, there's a battle that is going on with you. Now, I want to say as well, you got a lot of wands here. And I feel that with the Wands energy, it's really, I think, bringing emphasis that you guys need to come out of that and take action. Because we got the Eight of Wands here. So not jumping ahead to give you the message behind the Five of Wands. Yes, you got the Eight of Wands, and then you have the Seven of Wands. Okay? And as I was looking at it and analyzing this section here, it looks like a puzzle, because you got the Five of Wands as your overall main energy. You got the Eight of Wands. It jumps to the Eight of Wands. Then it dips down to the Seven of Wands. The only wand that really is missing here, because of the chronological aspect, even though it's out of sequence, the Six of Wands is not here. Because you think about the 5, it jumps to the 8 and then the 7. So chronologically, after 5 would be the 6, then 7 and 8. So even though it's out of sequence, the Six of Wands is missing out of this puzzle. And really, the Five of Wands after that is the Six of Wands, which speaks about being seen. But the aspect of that energy is where you are not seeing things for what it really is. Because it's absent and not showing up in your reading, or that it didn't show up, the absence of it, symbolically speaking, is that you are ignoring something for what it is. And that is not going to bring you a sense of showing up in your true, authentic self, if that makes sense. Seven of Wands, when you look at both these energies, Eight of Wands came out first, and then the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is looking directly at this Eight of Wands. But there is resistance to change. That's how I'm interpreting the energy of this. Because the Seven of Wands, for the most part, is protecting your energy. It's protecting yourself away from things, people, places, or situations that can impact your energy. Wands is energy because it's connected to fire, the fire element. But I feel that when it comes to your energy at this time, you are, in one sense, you are not putting out that energy you need to at this time, and how you need to show up to the world. But at the same time, you're also resisting. Can you see how in this imagery, how she's looking at those wands? It's like, whoa, like, and then her eyes is closed. Now, it doesn't matter if you are masculine that is watching this. It doesn't matter. It's just the energy. But the eyes is closed in that imagery toward those 8 wands. It's like you are really not wanting to see the change. Because for one, it came on you unexpectedly. And when change happens unexpectedly, like out of left field, it's something that can shake us and stir us. Even though this can also be an energy that you are trying to keep your cool, I feel. Whatever change this is, you would know how this will resonate for you, because this can also be like an energy of a meditative type of energy that is calming. But I feel that even if you are trying to be calm and remain calm, cool, and collective because of this change, how is that change affecting you though? Are you doing that because it's going to get a reaction from someone, a place, a situation that you think it's going to kind of change around? It's not going to change around. I feel whatever it is that have come at you at left field, it's being called upon for you to embrace that change. Because at the end of the day, that's the part of life. Life is ups and downs. It's left, right. and we have to go with the flow. Change is not always, something that we might not see coming. In life, there's going to be curveballs that we don't see coming, but it's how we show up. We have to show up resilient and strong. And I feel that this is what it is that you guys need to do at this time, to embrace showing up as being resilient and being able to adapt to the changes in one's environment, if that makes sense. All right. Now, before I'm going to give you the final message pertaining to the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Wands, the number that came out, just like I did with your fellow air sign, their number, I believe, was 2. The number that I see have come out for you guys, because as I look directly over to the top of the deck, by which the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Wands came out of, we have the Five of Wands again. So this is a very chaotic, very frustrating energy that is surrounding you guys at this time. And I do really feel that it has something to do with something on possibly the home front, that something has happened and it was something you didn't see coming, and you are avoiding to see it for what it really is. Okay? But getting back to the number, because the fives is seen to be, because you got it here twice, both Five of Wands, and when you get a card that comes out again from a different deck and it shows up, that means that there's a message there. There's something that needs to be, it could come in as a confirmation, but it's almost like stressing that particular energy of that card. And when you think about five represents change, all right? Change on the horizon. So for some of you, if this change haven't happened, it's coming up. It's on the horizon. And it could be change that either we expected or unexpected. And I feel for a portion of you, it's unexpected change. But it also, the five, also is needing to embrace them with positivity and courage. And I just said that moments ago. You need to show up as being resilient, strong, adaptable to the changes. It's also an energy that carry a dramatic energy that stirs up emotions. Change can be active, surrounding relationships, career, or a location. So for some of you, it could be definitely pertaining to your relationship, that there is some type of change that has occurred recently, or it's on the rise. And like I said, this can happen the end of this month, and the days to come, and the weeks to come. It can spill over into September, October, November. But there is some type of change that you mightn't see coming. And for those that this change has happened, it was something you didn't see coming. It kind of shook you by surprise. And that is what I feel is happening with you air signs, my Libras and Geminis, that there is a change that you are being resistant to. Now, to clarify what is the message behind the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Wands, you guys got the Two of Swords. And this is what I'm saying. There is a decision that you guys need to accept. It's not so much a decision that you are needing to make. Yes, you definitely need to make a decision. But I think it was a decision that you didn't see coming, because the Two of Swords is blocked. Something you didn't see. It's something that, like I said, you didn't see. It's blinded. You came out of left field. But also, it's at crossroads. So it's leaving you at crossroads in you making now a decision based upon this change that has occurred. But I also mentioned that some of you need to avoid as well, block, interference. That is like outside. When I bring back the energy of the Five of Wands to this Two of Swords, you need to block out and remove yourself from interference, from people that might be trying to help you, but it's only going to leave confusion and more chaos to you, if that makes sense. It's best to pull back, like this energy of the Seven of Wands, to really pull back and protect your energy, and to go into that meditative mode so as to really focus on your own balance. And you Libras, you are about balance, because you are the scales. You are about justice. You are about bringing equilibrium. You see it in other people. You try to, but what is most important is the balance and stability that you bring to yourself. If you are out of balance and you are not in sync with your own self, for your mind, body, and soul, it's not going to help you. So you need to restore balance back into yourself by taking a moment during this full moon to pull back and to really revise, review, in order to release. If there's a need to focus, you need to focus on what it is you need to let go of at this time. And I would say that would be letting go of being resistant. Okay, that is what I see for you guys at this time. Now, as we wind down the energy, that was the overall chunk of what the tarot had to show me. We're going to move over to see what it is that your spirit guides have connected me to that will symbolize what it is you need to embrace at this time. And it's interesting. This is coming from the Soul's Journey deck. What it was that you need to embrace. My question was, what is it that they need to embrace or let go of? And it makes sense that you guys got self-esteem as the attitude and energy you need to embrace at this time. It's very self-explanatory. It's about your self-image, your self-esteem. Because if you allow yourself to be stuck into a situation that is disrespectful, right? Or a situation that you maybe have exuded energy toward, but you didn't get it back. Where's your self-esteem? Where's your loving yourself? The message here is, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So self-esteem is about you possessing. We all have the gift of displaying self-esteem for ourselves, right? And because we all have it, do we let that kind of go to the wayside and let other people kind of tamper over our self-esteem? And if that is something that you're allowing someone to do, or being in a situation that no longer serves you, then you have to focus on yourself. Take this example of the Seven of Wands and be of self-esteem by retreating, going into solitude, going into that hermit mode, and really thinking about restoring your mental mind and the actions you need to take based upon something that just came out of nowhere that you didn't expect. Maybe intuitively, maybe because of the ongoing, maybe there was like ongoing arguments and tension that is going on with you and somebody, or you in a situation. Maybe you felt like if this keeps going on, at some point it's going to come to an end. You just didn't know. Maybe it happened and ended sooner than you thought. That's what I get. But self-esteem, put on your self-esteem hat and show your authentic self, the real version of yourself, regardless of how it may look to other people. Because at the end, what matters is how you show up at this time. And we close out with a final message from your spirit guides. And what came out was this message: where you are right now is where you are supposed to be. Don't compare yourself to others. That only adds pressure. Take each day as it comes and for what it is. You are a better person than you were yesterday. Growth isn't easy, but you got this. You got this, my air signs. The important phrasing here out of the whole message is taking each day as it comes and for what it is. And I think that is what I feel you need to hear. Change is a part of life. And as we take each day as it comes, because we don't know what the next day is going to bring, we just got to focus on the here and now. And when we are in the here and now, then we can kind of almost like prepare for the unexpected, right? We always should kind of put ourselves in a position to prepare for the unexpected, because life changes, people change, situations change. so that when the change comes, it wouldn't kind of throw us off by surprise too much, right? So I feel that if we kind of jump ahead of the future and kind of figure out, well, if I do this, what the result is. We're always looking for the result, the aftermath of if we continue to be, focus on that, right? But focus on the here. Let each day come and we prepare for as it comes along. But it says you got this, all right? You need to know that your spirit guides and your team is on your side. They got you. They're supporting you. So that is what I got for you, my air signs. I hope it was helpful. I didn't mean for it to be this long. I find that so far, well, except for your fellow air sign, the reading kind of went over around 30 minutes. But I feel that somehow this full moon is needing to be a little bit more extensive than what I would do maybe with the new moon. New moon reading seems to be a little bit more shorter and concise because we're just seeing what shows up for that. But this is a full moon energy, and so the reading is going to carry, I think, more messages that I think need to be heard. I am a messenger, but at the end of the day, do know, my air signs, that you are the one that have the power. And it's interesting because what's looking at me right now is the major arcana of the Magician, by the way. It's interesting that my eyes looked over there, and I was about to speak of that when I was going to say that at the end of the day, we have the power to change how we want ourselves and see ourselves. We have all the tools there. This Magician is surrounded by all the tools. You have everything you need in order to embrace whatever change that has happened or is about to happen to move to the next step. Remember, self-esteem is what you need. The Magician has it, right? Don't allow yourself to not feel that you don't have what it takes, or the gifts that you have, the resources to move forward. It's asking you to move forward, be courageous, and be resilient. Be strong. You got this. All right, my air signs. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, send some love and light by hitting that thumbs button to give me a like. You can come into the comment section and share your feedback if you want. And until the next moon phase readings, I'm wishing all of you a wonderful evening. But as well, if you want a more extended version of this full moon reading, I am open for private sessions. The information will be linked in the description box where you can book a personal with me. Until the next one, peace, love, and light. Bye for now.